The following podcast is recommended for mature audiences only. The following podcast is recommended for adults only. Maturity is not a requirement.
Hello and welcome to episode 54 of Dear Download, a podcast where we get to share our most intimate and treasured memories of Download Festival. We'll talk about each year, the bands we saw, the bands we missed, and everything else noteworthy that happened across the weekend. Also, we'll touch upon any news, other festivals, and the music industry past, present and future. We are talking about none of those today. We are having... We're just going to have a bit of a catch-up with each other, what's going on over the summer, what we've done this year. An episode of us just talking about a load of random stuff. I am Adam, and as always, I'm here with Simon. How are you doing, my man?
Hello, and good God heat to you, sir.
Good God heat, it is.
It's hot.
It is very, very hot. Yeah, really, really hot today.
This is going to be two sweaty boys doing a podcast. Like, my glasses are steaming up at the top. Really. That's how hot my forehead is. Like,
jeez. Yeah, I don't have that problem. I obviously don't wear glasses, but
you would.
My forehead does get very, very sweaty.
If I put them too close to there, the top bit I can see it. It's like steamed up, so I need to just put them like slightly away from my face. Like, it's boiling hot in this room. I've got like a giant fan over there. Try not to point at this because it was making noise before. I got both windows open. I'm in a vest. I've tied my hair up. I'm still absolutely boiling. So great.
Yeah, me too. I've been working today. Obviously, that was the last couple of days. It's been hot this week in general, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a chat earlier, didn't we? And you said, I couldn't. You were sat in a nice air-conditioned office, and I was out on the streets in the heat and in a van. But yeah, you said no. It must be pretty horrible getting in. But to me, it wasn't too bad. It was hot, but there are worse jobs.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It could have been worse. Basically.
Could be like a truck driver or something and stuck in like a cab all day. Like, just, I know they've probably got aircon. The new cabs are nice, but you'd be And do you know what it reminded me of today? Because I thought of you when I drove to work. And then I thought, he must be boiling in the van. And then I got into the nice air-cooled office. And then when I walked out, it reminded me of when you walk out on the plane. And you don't realise on the plane it can be, quite... Sometimes they're a bit stuffy, but it's normally a lot cooler, the temperature, than it is on the outside. And you walk out and then the heat just, hits you. Like, that is exactly what I had today when I was like, I'm going to go grab something from the car. And I walked out and I was like, oh my Lord. Like, I've just been sitting in an office that was obviously beautifully AC'd and walking outside and like a punch in the face, the heat just went and hit me like, geez. Yeah. So I felt sorry for you today, man.
I had that quite a few times today because I've said before, I just delivered to loads of businesses, and I went into a Tesco, and it was quite a new Tesco, so all their like newly built as well, like the whole building. So
nice, all of their
cool equipment was brand new, and it was in there only in there for about 20 seconds, not even that. And walking out, it just hit me, and I was like, Jesus, I forgot how hot it was out here.
Yeah,
like, oh, gee, yeah. But yeah, no, like I said, I'm getting in and out of the van all day, every day because of that. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and he said they'll get out of the van, walk around for half hour, 40 minutes, and then get back to the van, and the van will be boiling hot. And they're boiling hot because they've been out in it for that long as well. So it could be worse, but I haven't got it too bad.
Yeah, it's just not nice. It's very stuffy at the moment. Not good. But hey, we complain when it's cold and we complain when it's hot because we're British and that's what we do.
Yeah. I don't know. I said to you just before. I'm not sure if the weather got to me a bit today. I was in a bit of a bad mood after work. I don't really get in bad moods that often. Barely ever. But yeah, I'm not sure if it just got to me. But it was weird. Like, I knew why as well. So I'm out of beer. It was been so hot. I was like, right, I want to go get some beer. I had to get something from the shops as well. So I was in there, and the lady behind the till, said something a bit funny towards me, a bit condescending, and I snapped at her, and I was like, I don't snap at people ever, really.
Oh wow, okay.
And it was weird, and I knew it was just like it was probably me hearing it differently. So like it was weird because I was aware of it at the same time.
Yeah,
I'm aware that I've probably just heard it in a not necessarily the way that she meant it, but it could have been taken that way because I took it that way. And she was like, after she was just
or
like,
she was just generally being condescending, and you were completely right.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't think of the right words at the time because that's what I'm like. I think of the perfect answers just after I walked away. But like, yeah, she was just saying like, oh, just teasing you. I'm just teasing you. I'm like, it's weird to tease strangers, right? I'm not the only person I thinks that. I didn't say it because it's too late. But yeah, I know. So I just wanted to say that because I was in a bad mood. I don't get in bad moods very often, but I was aware that I was hearing things differently or perceiving things in my head differently than I normally would.
Yeah, because of the mood that you were in. I think everyone gets that when they're annoyed. Do you know what I mean? Like I said before, you're working your asses off. It's boiling hot.
Yeah.
You just want to leave in a day, get a beer, and just chill out. And then someone says something, and you're like, "Oh bloody hell! I've just reached the end of my rope." It's understandable, you know. A lot of people. I think that's pretty fair to happen to a lot of people. So yeah, I won't worry about it.
But after that, I got in the car and I was like, right, I want to listen to something heavy that I can sing along to, and I had to skip a few tracks. But then, Is There Anybody Out There came on. I was like, yes, this is the one.
Nice.
This is the one I'm going to headbang to all the way home.
What a tune. That just reminds me of you and Dan in the car down 2022 when like Adam turned the music down slightly, and I was like, all I could hear was, "Is there anybody out there?" Like blasting as loud as it could be, and you guys in the car doing this in front, and I was like, they are rocking out hard.
Yeah. Oh, that was good.
Every time I hear that song now, it just reminds me of you and Dan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, literally.
Awesome.
I can't unhear it now.
Yeah, well, that kind of was our song of that summer. That was last year, 2022. Yeah. Obviously, the song of the first quarter of this summer is, well, the band is Electric Callboy, like I said last week.
Yeah.
I don't know what the last 3 quarters of this summer will be yet, but the first quarter has already got a band associated with it.
Yeah, I thought that was good last time. You were like, I've already got a song that reminds me of the summer that I'm already in, which is very weird.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put this beer. Hold on, let's see if we can get a nice sound.
Oof.
Oh,
yeah.
I am drinking Jamaica's premium beer, which is Red Stripe, a favourite of mine. It's quite strong.
I don't think I've ever had that.
Red Stripe's a good beer. I only started drinking it because I saw that Gavin Rossdale from Bush drunk it a lot in the 90s, and I was like, that would be cool. And then me and Carter just started drinking Red Stripe like continuously after that.
Yeah, it was mostly northern, wasn't it? I don't think we can get it here at all, actually.
Really? We can get it?
You don't see it in the normal the main supermarkets. You can probably get it.
It's in Co-op in Gloucestershire.
Is it?
Yeah, you might want to next time, man. Look for that. They're nice, man. Honestly, I think you really like them.
Yeah, very nice.
Good beer, soothing.
Cool. But anyway, I should have asked ages ago. How are you, man? How has your last couple of weeks been?
Yeah, great, really good. Busy boy at work and all that stuff. But apart from that, me and Vicky have just been taking. Obviously, it's been such a busy summer. All the festivals, weddings, other friends' weddings, blah, blah, blah. Just so much stuff has been happening. So we've literally taken the last few weeks. Like, we'll talk about films and games and TV later. So we've literally just been watching a load of stuff, catching up on a load of films. I bought a load of Blu-rays recently, so we've been watching those.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, we've literally just been relaxing. Like, we've spent our nights. I'm either doing YouTube or a bit of music. The other nights we're literally just sitting on the sofa, relaxing, taking it easy, like just chilling at the end of the summer because it's been so busy. So yeah, apart from that, I haven't done much. I will say quickly, I'll get all my self-promotion crap out of the way.
Yeah,
the YouTube's been going really well, as always, but I've had a really great response to my music that I released, my first single, 9 Lives, with vocals on. A lot of people have messaged me and said, honestly, dude, this is a really great track. So I've been like very humbled recently to learn that people actually really like it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to releasing the next one, which will be at the end of this month. So Yeah,
awesome.
Very cool. It's just nice, to put stuff out there, to have people listen to it. And sometimes I don't think people realise quite how much work you have to put into a track to actually make it work.
Yeah.
So yeah, it feels really good to sort of for people to respond positively to it. So I've had some great comments. So yeah, but if you haven't heard it, go and check it out. But yeah, and that's been like a really positive thing for me in the last like week or so.
Yeah.
So yeah, but apart from that,
under Mercury Night, isn't it? Did you say it?
Yeah, Mercury Night. Yeah, 9 Lives. Yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, it's been going really well. So I was literally just working on some other tracks that are going to be on the EP before I came on here and talked to you. So I was just messing around with a few things.
Awesome.
But yeah.
Really cool.
It's
nice, isn't it? Like it's also hard to actually get people to write in with any kind of feedback, let alone positive feedback.
Yeah.
So it must be nice to hear that people are enjoying it.
Yeah, I'll take criticisms as well. If people want to tear it apart, that's fine. Because I don't know, I'm very, not so much with the YouTube stuff, because that is literally most of the time just me talking. But with the music, for me, it's never good enough. Like I put it out and I thought, this is the best I'm going to get it. If I keep messing around with this, I'm never going to put it out. And I'm like that with it now. I'll go in, I'll be like, oh, that bit of EQ is not quite right. Oh, I could put a bit of compression on that. Oh, I don't think that's quite good. Maybe I should mess around there. And then by the end of the time, I've like spent so much more time in it when actually the original version before I really started messing with it was actually the best version of it. So I've got that thing with music, but not with the YouTube. I look at it, I think that's pretty good or funny or whatever, and then I put it out. But with music, it's a bit more, because that's more of sort of art than doing a YouTube channel or doing this. This is still important, but I wouldn't go through every line that we've said and criticize. Do you know what I mean? Like every little thing. Whereas for a 3-minute track, you would do that. So
yeah, there was a time when I would edit a lot more than I do now. The old podcast, I think I've said to you before, it would take me sort of 10 to 12 hours to edit a 2-hour episode.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it all on a Sunday like I do now. I'd have to start it throughout the week. We'd record it on a Sunday, and I'd probably spend 3 or 4 evenings on it throughout the week, and then finish it on the Sunday.
Wow.
And yeah, it would be like, oh, someone laughed a bit too loud there. Let's just bring that small section down a little bit.
But I guess quiet. Now you've got better at doing it because you've done more of it. You've probably this one is probably a bit more open flow, where we can just sometimes the more we talk is the better for me and you, because we tend to pull stuff out of each other for like better subjects or tangents or whatever. So it probably works. It's probably easier, but you're also much better at doing it and more efficient. And you think, do you know what? Keep that in. And plus, like we said before, we got decent equipment. Like generally, I listen to people that have massive podcasts, and I genuinely sometimes think that ours, audio quality wise, sounds better. And that's being actually honest. Like I think sometimes this sounds better than some, really, really big people's podcasts that I love, but I don't think the audio quality is very good. So you should give yourself a pat on the back for that, because it always does sound nice and crisp. So
it does. Yeah, absolutely. I was a bit quick. I was not trying to rush over that. Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty proud of what we've made so far, to be honest.
Yeah, that's good.
And well, I have got better at it. Yes, you're right. I have got quicker at it, but also I have got a Simon. Now, a little, I don't know what to call it, a little secret, a little.
What, a guy who can chat breeze till the cows come home? The guy who puts people to sleep at festivals through talking about space. This is the guy that you're trying to praise. The guy who puts people to bed.
Well, yes, but I very rarely have to edit any of your stuff. It's always my stuff that I've got to edit. So if it was two of you on here, there would need to be no editing at all. It would just go out straight as it is.
Would you ever do, say if someone listened to this is a good question for you actually, say if someone listened to our podcast and they said, you guys have really good sound and a thing, and they were like, oh, what mics do you use? So they bought the same mics as us, and they went, if we do the podcast, we'll pay you to edit it. Would you do that?
It depends how long they're going to make it, how much they'd pay me.
But like, would you be open to, if another podcast came along and said, oh, you guys, your podcast sounds really good, can you edit an episode so we could see how it would? Yeah, I'm just saying, like, that would be really cool if you could edit, if someone else asked you to do that for them.
Yeah. I think I've said this before along the similar kind of lines of like when I was doing the sound as well, working on a sound desk. Leading up to it, I would be nervous as hell, thinking, "Why do they want me to do it?" Like it's that
imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
But once I start doing it, I'd get into it and go, actually, yeah, do you know what? I know why they asked me because I know I can do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, leading up to it, I'd be, fuck me. Why are they asking me I can't do this?
I think everyone gets that imposter syndrome. I was listening to, I started listening to Joe Rogan podcast. I've gone all the way back to like 2019 and started going back through. And he talks about that and there loads. Like, no matter how big you get at something, there's always that little bit of you that thinks, one, how did I get here and how am I doing this? Why are people enjoying this? Like, it's just me. You have that slight imposter syndrome. So I get that. I had that release in the music. I was just like, oh man, people aren't going to like this. Why am I doing this? I'm not a talented musician in any way, shape or form. What the hell is going on? So yeah, but at least you've, people obviously, hopefully like the podcast. So that does sort of rectify that a little bit for you.
Yeah. Well, a little bit of news. It's going to be much bigger news very soon, but the last couple of days we hit 19.2 thousand downloads. So we're so close to hitting 20,000. That's amazing. It's so
awesome,
feels
man.
So good, man. Yeah.
That's incredible, dude. We've only done this is only 54 episodes. That is absolutely amazing. We say it all the time, but the community that we've built on Discord, everyone chatting to each other, we see each other at all the festivals. Everyone's like friends now. They just hang out, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I know you can't get that necessarily the bigger that you get, but, it's nice to have the little sort of small community that we got now. And it's great, man. People are loving, like we said before, it's two idiots talking to each other. And for some reason, sorry to call you an idiot, I'm just throwing you in that box as well. Just openly called you an idiot and you didn't even say anything. So he's admitted he is also an idiot. But do you know what I mean? Like two dudes talking breeze and people like it, which is great. So yeah, it's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, and on the Discord as well, actually, it has been amazing. It keeps growing still. But some of the TV shows I'm going to talk about in a little bit, recommendations from the Discord.
Oh, nice.
Which were amazing. It's not just music we're talking about on there. So if you are thinking about joining, but you haven't pulled the trigger yet, come and join us and chat about anything and everything. We might say a few things in this that you might have opinions on as well. So yeah, come and have a
yeah. I'll say the channels really quickly. What I'm listening to: The Ultimate Lineup, Gigs and Shows, Football, Meme Central, Gaming, Campsite Fuckery, Tattoo Shop, Entertainment, Health and Fitness, Food and Drink, Hobby Corner, Selfie, Self Promo, Pet Pics, Tech Chat, Live Sets Only. And they're just the main channels. There's other channels up from that. We've got Main Stage. We've got the Introduce Yourself, Big Up Stu, Man. I was wearing his very lovely merch in one of my videos. I'm sure he's put something on. But if you guys have seen that, his t-shirts are really nice. So yeah. Big up, Stu.
Also, I never knew the bleh thing was a thing until probably about 3 years ago.
Really?
And I heard them talking about it on the Saccone podcast, going bleh, and I was like, what is that? Why are you saying that? I don't understand. But I guess it's just an easy thing for vocalists to say in a song, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There was a stage when it would just be before the beatdown kicked in and before the singer would just go, and that's it, straight into it.
I never knew that.
It's great. And then it just became like a meme thing when everyone would just say it. So, but it's great. Okay. I love the way he's turned it into merch, and it looks like professional, like merch that has been out for like years. It's like, why have people not made this T-shirt? Like, what the hell? So yeah, awesome.
So yeah, I mean, this summer This episode is sort of a catch-up of the summer, isn't it? So should we talk about some of the festivals that we've been to, how the summer has been generally? It's still bloody hot. I can't believe how hot it is in September.
Mental.
Yeah, and move on to music after that, I think. Something like that.
Yeah, and then we'll talk some films, some games, and some TV. So stick around. Plenty of good stuff to come.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only festival I did really was Download. I'm hoping to change that.
No, you didn't. You done that Kids Rock thing.
Kids Rock, yes.
We can talk about Kids Rock as well. Yeah.
Kids Rock was quite good, actually. Yeah, okay, we'll talk about Kids Rock as well.
Yes, let's go left field.
Kids
Rock. I don't want to talk about Slam Dunk, so let's talk about Kids Rock.
Okay. Well, there's not much more to say than what I said last week, actually. So it's just they hold this tribute weekend called Summer Rock here. I didn't go to it. Last time I went was 8 years ago. It's not my kind of thing. I think they had Pink on the one I went to, and the Vicky, I can't remember her surname, but she's meant to be a very good Pink.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, this year I don't know who they had on. I actually don't know who they had on the kids one either. I think they had a really famous woman who had people seated behind the stage recently.
Really famous woman who had people seated behind the stage recently.
Yeah, okay. It was put in a Discord, and you can buy listening
this is
only.
Adam showing his knowledge of popular culture right now.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Like the biggest woman on the planet when it comes to music, I think. What's her name? It's gone. It's been a long
Billie
day.
Eilish?
No.
I don't know any other people. Taylor Swift?
That's the one.
There you go.
Yeah, we can talk about that in a bit, what we think about that.
Okay.
But yeah, I think they had her on. To be honest, my kids aren't really old enough to know music that well, although Soren still says his favourite song is Iron Man.
Nice.
And
Sabbath.
You'll probably remember. I don't know how many people would have been listening all the way back, but I said that probably a good couple of years ago when I first said that we were playing that to him when he was in bed. Well, he was asking for it. Nova has Dear Daughter every night from Hailstorm.
Ah,
And
nice.
it's really cool. But
That's cool, man. Rocking it up with the kids. I like it.
yeah. But still, as I was saying, and I drifted off a little bit, they're not that into music, so we didn't really go into the tent. It was just loads and loads of cool, like fairground rides. There was like, the big sort of inflatable slides that you have.
Awesome.
There's one of them with water, and you could go down.
Whoa!
We were like, it's not that hot
I'd have been
today.
on that.
You ain't going down it because you're going to get
fair.
wet.
Yeah, if it was like this, I'd be like, sign me up. But if it was quite a mild day, I'd be like, I do not want a wet butt, so no.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we spent way too much money on the rides for them. Well, no, we spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much all we did, basically. So,
That's cool, though, man. I like that it's a really good way to sort of get the kids used to a festival vibe. Like, people really underestimate how great local festivals are. Like, they're just fantastic. It's a good thing to take your kids to, I think, to begin with.
yeah.
And warm them up, and then I suppose one day you'll have to bring them to download, I guess.
Nah.
At some point down the line. No? Family outing to download? Come on, man.
Well,
Like there's so many families and kids that go to download now. And it's great. It's always good to see when you see that.
better lead into my fun.
no,
No, yeah. Right, yes. No, I was joking with that. Yes, we will. Kelly's been talking about it for ages. I don't particularly want to just yet. I do eventually, but yeah.
No, they're a bit young now, but I get that. But when they're a bit older, we're talking 8s and 9s. Maybe that's a good age to sort of bring the kids along because they're a bit more manageable, I guess. When they're a bit smaller, you kind of have to every 2 seconds sort of do something with them. But I guess when they get a bit older, they're sort of a bit more like, oh, all right, I'm just gonna have a look around here, get with a vibe. So maybe into the double figures or just before that. So you still got a few more years yet, mate. You're all right.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Well, Vicky wants to bring a bloody baby to download, so I'm sure at one point we'll bloody turn up with a tiny child.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I know a lot of people did it. A lot of people even did it this year. It was way too hot to bring a baby this year.
Yeah, I guess the only way we would do that is we wouldn't be we would either be camping in an RIP version, or we would do my plan in the next 5 to I'd say 10 years, longest, is to get a camper van of some sort and either buy one that's good, save up for it, or convert a shitty one into something decent, and we would use that to go to festivals in as like a family. So that's my plan. I'm not saying that will happen, but that's something that me and Vicky have talked about, and we think it's a really cool idea. So, because then you can just drive around and go to campsites. Yeah, you could just go, oh, do you know what, babe? Wales, one of the most beautiful places in the entire world, as far as I'm concerned. Never been to Scotland. I also heard that is equally as beautiful, if not more beautiful. But Wales is such a gorgeous place that you get in your camper van. Wales, South Wales from us is less than an hour away. You just keep driving, go into Wales somewhere, find a nice campsite. You know what I mean? There's your weekend. Yeah. So probably use it for stuff like that. But yeah, it's a cool idea. Yeah.
Well, I think a good plus for Scotland as well is I think you can pretty much camp anywhere for free. I can't remember what the thing is called, but Yeah, Kelly's auntie lives there, and she said, yeah, like, just camp in any field. Like, no one's going to tell you not to.
Not to do that, yeah. Well, actually, I got a good Scotland story. So, Fallon, John, and Eugene, some of my friends, I don't know who else was part of that group, but they bought Blink tickets for Scotland.
Right.
And Blink-182 cancelled their shows.
Ah.
So they bought tickets and flights to go to Glasgow to see Blink. So they just went anyway. But I haven't spoken to any of them, but I'm guessing they had a great time. But yeah, Blink cancelled. So people like that, they're obviously travelling all the way from London to Glasgow just to see Blink-182. And they bloody cancelled, which is a huge bummer for people that travelled that far.
Yeah.
But Scotland just looks like great fun. So it's definitely on my list. And that sounds so stupid because I'm sure a lot of Scottish people will be annoyed by an English person saying, "I know I've been to Scotland," when I know it's 6 hours, but it's not that far away, is it? It's not like travelling to the USA or something. So,
yeah, no.
Yeah.
It is
but,
nice.
I'd like to go.
Yeah,
I'd like to go. I've heard Glasgow and Edinburgh are like really good like weekends and nights away and stuff. So I'd love to go there and just get absolutely tanked with all the Scottish. I would be well up. I'd be well up for that. It'd be great fun.
Walk around their campsites going, "We are English."
No, they don't. See, it works the other way around. The Scottish can walk around an English festival with Scottish flags and do their Scottish parade. That's fine. If it's England doing it in Scotland, it's forced aggression. It's more aggressive if we're doing it there. So if I went to a Scottish download, I would not walk around with a giant England flag. But if a Scottish person wants to walk around with a giant Scottish flag in England, that's fine.
Yeah.
But we're normally the aggressors when it comes to going to places like that. So I won't be doing that. And there'll be no English parade at a Scottish festival. That won't be happening.
Well, can you do it a bit less aggressive then? Just get like the Scottish flag and cross it out or something and just say not Scottish. Not Scottish. And is that better than English?
I think defiling the Scottish flag might be worse somehow. You'd probably be better walking around with a UK flag. Yeah. Because it incorporates everyone. And then walking around. Yeah, I never understood that. When you look at that flag, you're like, where's the Welsh bit?
Yeah.
It's not there, is it? So,
I think it's incorporated somehow. I think I've seen that, but I'm not sure.
I never thought it was.
Maybe it just isn't. Yeah, I don't know.
I like the UK flag. Like, I think it's a really pretty, awesome looking flag to incorporate all of the, UK. I think it's a really cool looking flag. Have you ever played that? Have you ever played that guessing flag game? How good are you at guessing countries' flags?
I used to be okay. I don't know about now. I used to be all right. Yeah.
Okay. I think maybe we should do that at some point. We'll play we'll play one of those online flag guessing games and see, because I think sometimes I get them, and sometimes some of the flags are so similar with like little differences, and you're like, oh my god, is this Ivory Coast or the Netherlands? You're like, oh god, like one thing is round the other way or something like that, and they always throw you those ones.
Yeah, I used to be quite good at capital cities as well. I think my cousin was really
shocking at that.
You'd
batter me. Yeah, I think I'd be all right, but I think you'd twat me at that. That's hard to remember. I think that information, like flags, I'm visual.
Yeah.
So if something is visual, I'm very good at it. If something is memory word based, if I can't tie it to something visual, it's gone.
Yeah.
So that might be a good indication of how different our brains.
Yeah,
how different our brains like remember things. Because I'm good at countries, but capital cities, I'm like, oh god, no. What the hell is the capital of whatever? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think I don't know. I think I was good at it because my cousin was. So growing up, we were always quite equal. We bowled together. I was a little bit better than him, but we grew up together quite a lot, and we were pretty much equal. He was a year younger than me. And he was good at remembering them, so I was like, "Well, I need to remember them too, then." Like sort of thing, like subconsciously. I think that's what happened.
Okay, nice. I'd like to see this in action.
But he is much more intelligent than me, and much more intelligent than me now. He went to uni. He worked for like Sky, analysing like the red button presses, and he's very good at maths.
Nice.
And I think he might work for the BBC now.
Awesome.
Lives just outside of London. I saw him last episode. I said I saw two of my cousins I haven't seen for years. I saw him that same day in a pub that I don't usually go to for the first time in about 6 years.
Wow.
And it was odd, and it was like, yes, my family have been loaded in at this point. I get it.
Yeah.
But I spent a lot.
Load the Cox family disc in.
Yeah.
They've all popped up. Right, who have we got in the algorithm? Yep, throw them in. Throw them in. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I spent a lot of the night talking to him about this theory because it threw me that I'd seen him, and I was quite drunk at that point, and it was like, I think I consciously wanted to sound intelligent, and I'd been looking into that quite a bit, and I kept going, I don't believe it. I don't believe in this theory, but it's just a theory, and it's maths and all that. And I must have sounded like an idiot. But like trying to be on the same level as him, because I'd seen him. Oh, look at me! I'm the same level as you still.
To be fair, that's happened to me loads. Like normally, I would consider myself to be, very good, sort of, mildly intelligent at speaking to someone. After I've had a few drinks, if I go off on something, I'll go off on it, and it will be perfection. But if I've had too many drinks, those thoughts will not be in the same order as they were when I was sober, and it's just like rambling madness. So it depends what the tipping point for you is, where it goes from intelligent conversation which is fantastic to just gibberish conversation that doesn't make any actual sense. Yeah. But in my head, I'm thinking I'm like a wizard, but you're like, no, that was just terrible.
I think, I'm not sure if it was drunkenness or whether because it was loud or not. It was really loud in the pub, and I wasn't sure if he was hearing me properly, because I was talking to another girl who I delivered to and trying to explain how I had embarrassed myself a couple of days before. And I was like, it sounded really funny in my head. I told Kelly about it. It sounded really funny. I told her at the pub, and I was like, there's no reaction. Like, did I say it wrong? Is it because it's loud? It was just,
It's like telling a joke where you forget how the joke goes, and you're like, I've told this joke so many times. Why have I? Or you say the punchline before you've told the bit of the joke, and you're like, oh my god, I completely messed up.
Yeah,
like, I've ruined the whole joke now. Like, throw it out. It's done.
Anyway, how was your festival season?
Yeah, it was good. I think this might be. I think four major festivals might be the most that I've gone to in 1 year. I've done 3 before, but I've never done thrown in Slam Dunk to get over. I've done Trees, Download, and Budstock last year and the year before. But yeah, I threw in Slam Dunk because me and Vicky were like, hey, let's just go. Carter and Chess were going. We can get a coach from Cheltenham, which was really easy. But yeah, obviously, let's not talk too much about Slam Dunk. It started badly. This year's festival season started really badly. I'm sure you guys have heard me babble on here and on YouTube about how rubbish Slam Dunk was. Some people have messaged me and said, dude, just like, this was a bad year. Like, just generally a bad year. Like, give it another go, because it might be good. And I like I said, if there's a lineup where I'm like, that's killer, I'll go again. But I'll just be worried that I'll get there and all of my bands that I want to see will sound like absolute rubbish. So I'll be wary to go, but I would go to Slam Dunk at some point. But I'm definitely not going next year. I'm not going 2 years in a row. Yeah. Year after that, if there's a good lineup, I might go. But it didn't start very well. For a day festival as well, to like bum you out that much is... And like, this the worst bit is like all my friends were there. I saw people I hadn't seen in ages. Like socially, I had such a good time. But that you could have took the festival away, and I could have just gone to the pub with my friends, and I would have had a much better time than actually spending the money going to the festival. Yeah. So it was a bit of a waste of time for that reason. Having fun with my friends, it was great, but as a festival, it's just rubbish. Like, I feel bad for Slam Dunk because they just got hounded. They did so much bad stuff. Like, I feel sorry for the people. You mess up. Downloads messed up. All the festivals have messed up at some point, but this one was a major one, and it's put a lot of people, especially first-time people, off of it. So I think they might be worried about their numbers next year, I think they'll be worried about who's actually going to go and how good it's going to be. So I think they'll probably might have to pull it out the bag lineup-wise to get anyone to attend. So we'll see what happens next year. But
I mean, you said that, and you said that people were saying like you should go because it's not that. I mean, it wouldn't have got as far as it has if it had been rubbish from the start. So it was just a bum year. But I mean, they could have 2 bad years in a row as possible. But
we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
Well, we also thought that Download are going to have to pull something out of the bag to try and to try and sell out again. But from if there's only a massive if the headliners are the ones that have been in quotation marks in air quotes even has been leaked. Which is Iron Maiden, Rammstein, and Avenged. Is that the three that everyone thinks is going to be at the moment? I don't think that's not going to.
I mean, that's decent.
Yeah.
I'm not sure having Maiden again so soon is a good idea.
I agree with you. I would love it, but it is not a good idea.
No, I don't think it
else.
is. Yeah, I think they'll. It's the downloads, just like we said before. It's in that weird. All the festivals are really in that weird transitional phase of the old going out and the new coming in. And that's Download's undercard is always very good. It's always full of new bands, and like they do that very well. They just need to figure out what they're actually doing with the headliners. But I mean, Download this year I thought was spectacular. I enjoyed myself so much. The weather was great. Everyone we were with was fantastic as always when you go with cool people. But I just thought I had such a blast this year. It was so much fun. Like I genuinely just didn't want to leave. I was like, this is so good. Like I'm having such a good time. And I had such a good time that I didn't even feel depressed on the Monday when we were leaving. I was like, I don't want it to be over, but I'm not depressed because I had such a great time.
Yeah.
Like I didn't get Download Blues this year.
I don't think I did.
No. Not one bit. I was like, that was great. It's just made me look forward to next year, like so much.
Yeah. I think I remember thinking that at the time when I saw people sort of posting online saying, "Oh, the Blues have hit," and it was a week or 2 weeks after, and I'd be thinking, I don't think I haven't really felt bad.
No, yeah, weird how we didn't get that this year. Very strange.
Whether it's because of the podcast and we knew we were going to be doing, because it was about a month until we got both of the review episodes out, and then we had another one, which was the RIP. I can't remember what we've done now.
That's true, actually, because we knew we were going to be talking a lot about it before and after. Maybe that softens the blow for me and you.
Yeah.
Because other people definitely did have the blues, but yeah, so that actually makes sense. But yeah, I love Download this year. I'm super excited for next year, like just buzzing. I can't wait till they announce something. And you said Rammstein. It's nice to have Rammstein as a thought again after all the stuff that's happened. So it's nice that they're back in the fray again, so we can actually think about them possibly headlining sometime soon, which would be cool because they're always a really great headline band. Yeah. As long as it doesn't rain, so they can't use half their pyrotechnics. Not that Rammstein are all pyrotechnics, I feel like that having their pyrotechnics has got them more fans but less fans. What?
It's giant cocks as well, not just pyrotechnics.
Yeah,
massive cocks.
So giant penises and do you know what? The worst one I saw from Rammstein with a giant penis was they had one. This was in the O2. This was 2013, 14, when me and my brother saw them at the O2, and Till Lindemann had like a penis on a slide that just had like giant foam coming out of it.
Oh yeah,
and he just foamed the entire front 5 rows or whatever. And I was like, where has it got to the point like where we're watching a hench German man fake semen on the first 5 rows of a crowd, and everyone is absolutely loving it. Like that's great, but also what have we become at the same time? Like, has it got this far now? But what we're saying with Rammstein is, I remember seeing Rammstein in the early 2000s when they had barely any pyrotechnics aside from a bit of flames, and they during Engel his wings would light up or whatever. But I really liked the music. I feel like the pyro thing now is people are going to see Rammstein because it's like an event and a show.
Yeah.
But I'm not actually sure how much people actually really love Rammstein's music. I know a lot of people do as well, but I'm just saying that there's 2 ways you can think about it now. You can go and see the show and you don't even have to like the music, or you could really like the music and the pyro is just extra.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about Rammstein, because I love the songs, and the pyro is just this is just, the cherry on top, basically. So I feel like it benefits them, but also takes away from the music slightly because there's so much pyro. It's a lot.
Yeah, I think for me, I still only know the one album So it's a bit odd going to see Rammstein because I know there's going to be loads that I don't really know. So I wouldn't really go just for the show. Well, I don't know, because the last time I saw them, I don't think there was that much pyro, or it wasn't that much of a show. Or it's not as much as it is now, I guess. I did see the massive penis on the slide spraying the front rows. I think that was Sonosphere the same year they did that.
Yeah, it would have been around that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. No, I love them. So it's great to have them like just back in the fray. That's what I wanted to say. Really.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, to me, it's going to change it a little bit. Rammstein are definitely worthy, I would say. Personally, I don't think System of a Down are still worthy of a headline band after not releasing something for so long.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what
don't get me wrong.
Is.
Everything they've released, I love. Like some of it to varying degrees, some of it's better than others, but generally, around it's really good. But man, can you just headline a festival and not have released the track since like, I don't know, when was it? 2007?
Yeah, something like that.
Something?
Yeah,
it's like around there. Like that is mad that you can still headline a festival, a metal festival, like the biggest metal festival in the UK, and not have released an album for well over 15 years. That is insane.
Yeah.
Like,
not even any
it's
new
just
music.
mental. Yeah. It's crazy. And, last time I saw them, I thought they were lackluster as hell. Like, again, saw them in 2005, thought they were absolutely incredible. Then everyone was telling me that in 2011 at Download, they were amazing.
I was bored
and
of
then
them
they
in
played.
2011.
Then they played in 2017? Yeah. And it was so boring. Oh my! Talk about going through the motions. I mean, it might have been an end of tour, but the people were liking the songs. Obviously, I was like, "Yeah, it's a great song, Sugar, great song, brilliant, love it."
Yeah.
But it was just them. They really looked like tired. Like they were just like, "Oh fucking hell, I've got to play this fucking song again." And like, "Oh yeah, whatever. Yeah, thanks for the ovation. Next song." Like it was just really paint by numbers. I just really didn't enjoy it. So.
Well,
It's a bit of a shame.
I'm the same. I can't remember what I thought of them in 2017, but it was probably the same. I don't think I thought they were better than 2011, and I thought they were boring in 2011. Probably about the same. I would think.
If they headlined again, I would be like awesome. But it has to be energetic, and it has to have a bit of like passion behind it. Like they have to really bring it, and then I'll be well up for a System of a Down show. But also, I would like some new music as well. Like. That would be good. Like they're such a talented, amazing band. Like, just fucking make some music, man. Like, Jesus. Are they just afraid that they're going to release it and everyone's just going to go, "This isn't Old System"? But it's too late for that now.
Clever.
Now it's definitely not Old System because they released it so long ago.
Yeah.
So they're in a bit of a quandary, I think, where they're like, if they release stuff, people would just be like, "Well, this isn't the old stuff." Well, it's not going to be.
Yeah.
But if they were releasing music the whole time, then it goes in stages, doesn't it? Where they could slowly phase stuff out or bring new stuff in. Whereas now it would just be super jarring if they like System of a Down went in a completely different direction, and you'd be like, "Oh, okay, I guess this is just what they sound like," because you've got nothing than the old stuff to compare it to.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Weird. System of a Down are a weird one, aren't they?
They are. I've been wondering recently, like. Because, if it was, say, 15 years ago, the last time they released an album, how many people under the age of 25, 30 are actually going back and listening to all of that stuff? It probably can't be many. It's all the older people. And I'd imagine Download wanting to cater to the new people, the new sort of, the people who've got the money, who still live with their parents and go out drinking every weekend.
Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt they're one of the biggest bands from the 2000s, late 90s era. There's no doubt about it. So people, Toxicity is still considered to be a fucking flawless album. Although in some ways, I do think System of a Down first album might even be better. But I can see why people would like it. But you're right. Someone who goes to gigs now would be like, they could have been born in 2005, going to the festival. They've been alive the whole time that System of a Down haven't released music. It's like, that's mental. It's like insane. And they're headlining the festival. It's like, what?
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't really know what young people do these days, but
well,
It could
it's
be
safe
loads.
to say they still listen to music, though.
Yeah.
So
it could be loads of them go back and listen to the older stuff that was released before they were into that music. I don't know, but that was my question. How many? Like, how often? How common is it that they would do that?
I've thought that about Spotify. I thought, what if these bands took off their most popular release, right? Then go back to their Spotify after a month and see how many monthly listeners they have. Who's listening to the other System albums? Who's listening to the other Linkin Park albums? Who's listening to the other Biscuit albums that aren't Chocolate Starfish or Significant Other? You know, like, are other people listening to these musics, or do they just have these monthly listeners because someone has Rolling on their playlist and so do a million other people?
Yeah.
Like, that's something I've always thought, like, if the band's just, do you know what? We're going to get rid of Hybrid Theory. We're going to get rid of Meteora. Let's see how many monthly listeners Linkin Park have. Let's get rid of Toxicity and Mesmerize and Hypnotize. Get rid of them. Just put Steal This Album on there. Let's see how many monthly listeners they actually get. That would intrigue me.
Yeah. I am wondering. So I am probably going to try and get hold of Spotify's API. I don't know. I might have to pay for it. But it will give me access to loads of stats like that. And I might be able to find out. I'm wondering how much detail I can actually get from there. So I could maybe look at that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll definitely look at it. I might be able to find the answer.
Mm-hmm. I've thought about that before. Like, just get rid of all the top releases and see.
Yeah.
You know, who's listening to all the random albums. I'm sure for some bands, like huge bands, people are listening to everything. But it would just be an interesting experiment to see how many monthly listeners it would go down by, you know?
Yeah. Interesting. That is an interesting question.
Yeah. But anyway, let's move on. So that was Download. It was great. We loved it.
We loved Download.
Then obviously, just great. It was
Sorry,
amazing.
there was no need for me to chime in there. That was silly of me.
No, this is good. This is a chit chat / whatever. So we're going for it, mate. Then obviously was Trees. So Trees and Bloodstock are either one of those I have to get you to.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you really need to experience one of these medium size but still absolutely stellar festivals that are just like so great in their own ways, also so similar but so different. Like, it's very weird, but I always put 2000 Trees and Bloodstock sort of in the same bag because they are, medium size, just small, but we'd say medium. But just fantastic. Like, Trees is just always, I could go to Trees, not know any bands. I would just go there, watch some bands, just have a great time. It's so well laid out. The vibe there is just amazing. Like, I always just dig 2000 Trees. It's in such a beautiful place in Gloucestershire. It's so close to me. It's like 20 minutes away. I just think that anyone that likes small festivals would just love 2000 Trees. It's killer. It really is.
Yeah.
Great. It's a shame that the weather wasn't great this year because it peed down that last day proper. Like, wowza. When I showed you that video, you were like, oh my God, that is proper rain. I'm like, that's real rain.
Yeah.
But yeah, Trees is great. Trees is like just brilliant. And then of course Bloodstock to finish the year was just, what a way to cap off. Probably one of my favorite. If I was to do like a chart of my favorite festivals, Bloodstock this year would be really far up there.
Really? Oh, what? So every year as well?
Yeah, like every year, Downloads, Trees, all the festivals I've been to, like. Not for bands, because I said this before, it was my least favourite Bloodstock band-wise since I've been, but I just had the most fun I've had at a festival in a long time.
Yeah.
Just probably to do with the people that I was with. It was really good company, but yeah, it's just good. It's just good festival.
Nice. It's weird. Like, I think I'll remember this year's Download a lot more because we're talking about it. I'll remember last year because we're talking about it. Do I remember much from... I don't know, 8 years ago? What was 8 years ago? 2015? No, I don't remember anything from 2015 at the moment. I'd have to look at the lineup and go, who was there? Did I go and see them? So it's weird, like, yeah.
But that's understandable, though. You've been to so many.
Yeah.
Like, that they're bound to, until you look at the lineup to remind you of things you were doing. That makes sense. Or if you like, that's kind of why it's good with the vlogs, because I can look back through and go, oh, I remember that now.
Yeah.
Or, oh man, that was awesome, or they were terrible, or and now we can look back at this podcast and as a stamp of time and be like, oh yeah, we really remember Download. You go back to the 2022 chat and be like, oh yeah, I remember that, and then do it with this year. So it's kind of good as a marker for our lives because we can go back and Yeah, I remember it.
I'm glad about that. I'm going to be looking back on this fondly. Well, hopefully, we'll be doing it for a long time anyway. But in probably 30, 40 years, I could still listen to it and go, oh, that was cool.
Yeah. You could go back and be like, oh my God, what are we doing in Download 2022? I know, I'll go back 10 years in the past and listen to our podcast and be like, oh yeah, that's what we've done. I
was talking to Kelly about the Sonospheres and the downloads that we've been together. I've actually been to 3 Sonospheres. I thought there was only 3 Sonospheres, and I've been to 2 of them. I've been saying that for years, ever since they happened. But there's actually been 4 Sonospheres, and I've been to 3 of them.
Which ones did you go to? Which years? Do you remember?
I think I went to 2014. I think it skipped 2 years before that. So there's no 13 or 12. So I want to say it was 9, 10, and 11, and then 14.
Nice.
Or it could be 10, 11, 12. Skip 13.
Yeah,
and
14 didn't happen, did it? That's the one that got cancelled. So it must have been before that.
No, 15 was the one that was cancelled, I believe.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was 14.
Yeah,
that might be my bad.
It was something like that. There was 3 in a row. I didn't know about the first one, so I went to the second and third. Then it skipped a couple of years, and then it had another one, and then the one after that was cancelled.
I think that's a bad sign when a festival skips a couple of years.
Yeah. Why don't
you
I
should
don't
be
even know
like,
why it skipped a couple of years now?
You should be like, this festival's just skipping years now. That's probably not a good sign.
Yeah.
Then they done one more and then they went bankrupt, which is not good.
No, but so I was talking to Kelly about them, and she was struggling to remember as well, and that made me feel good because I was like, I wasn't sure if it was me. I don't know if I drank too much over the years, but other people don't remember things too, so it's not just me, and I didn't feel as bad.
Oh yeah, some people remember nothing about their time at a festival, which is fine. You're just having fun. Some people live in the moment. Do you know what I mean? They're there, they're having fun while they're there. You don't have to remember it. So it's nice when things just come back to you. Occasionally, I get a memory and I'm like, oh my God, I've just remembered something from Download 2007 that I didn't remember. Sometimes, occasionally, like a file I'll find in my deleted files in my brain. I always think of my brain as a computer. Yeah. So I get rid of stuff that I don't need, and I only keep information or memories. And occasionally, a file that you've lost within other files, I'll discover it and I'll click on it, and that memory will play in my head, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that now. I've stored that information in there somewhere. God knows where. We were talking about deleting files before we came on, so that's probably why it's reminded me of the way my brain works.
Well, there are many versions of me who would go, that's really cool, but this one, I think you've just watched too much Star Trek.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah. I have a voice in my head, but it's not the voice of the computer from Star Trek. It's my own inner monologue, so we're okay. Once I hear someone else's voice, then we should start to worry. So overall, I think this was one of my best, not counting Slam Dunk. This has been legitimately one of my favourite summers for festivals. I've had such a good time. Vicky's had a great time. I've got to see so many friends and hang out with so many awesome people. It's just been brilliant. It really has. I've made some new friends. It's just been great. I've just had a really, really 2023 will go down as a very, very good summer festival wise. I think I'll remember it fondly. Definitely. Yeah,
me too. Even if it was just a one main festival. But yeah, I was literally just thinking the same. Like the people that we were with as well made it what it was.
Well, we're doing something else this year together, aren't we? We're going to the Used in Bristol.
Yes, I haven't got tickets for that. You said about that in your video, and I was like, oh, hang on, I need to buy tickets for that.
You said you had tickets.
Oh no, I haven't bought them yet. We will buy. We'll
Jesus
buy them.
Christ!
I got tickets for Bournemouth for In Search of Sun. Got that one already.
Yeah, I can't go.
Yeah,
because I can't take the time off work.
Yeah. I will go and stay at your brother's house on my own. I haven't told him that.
I might still be able to, but I'll have to organise with work not being anywhere and then working from his house. So it's still possible.
Okay.
But it'll be great. I'd love to introduce you to the rest of the guys. I've known them all for so long. It'll be really cool to introduce you to and to hang out with Leader and for us just to hang out. And obviously my brother will be there and everything. I think that'll be a really, really great laugh. Yeah.
Because your wedding as well, I didn't get a chance to speak to Leader anywhere near as much as I wanted to. Yeah, just exactly like you said. So the people who we've spent this year have made it as well, made it what it is. It's just been absolutely amazing. For so many years, I had roughly the same group at Download, and there was always drama. There was always bickering and fighting, and I just always assumed. Oh, have I already said this? I'm not sure if I have. I just always assumed that a big group of people, or medium to large group of people, spending 5 days together, always ends up in fighting. That's just how it happens. And then all of a sudden, we go with me and Jacobs, and we met Jack and Sean in 2019, small group, and then with your group, a bigger group in 2022. I was like, it's just weird. It's not normal for people to be fighting. So must have just been like the people I was with that made it that way. I was just like, because I was always so proud of myself. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm really chill. I don't get involved in the fighting. I don't care. I understand. We're here for 5 days. Just don't get angry with people, and you'll be fine. But it's the norm to not get angry with people. I understand now.
I think we're quite lucky. Like, obviously, our group has varied. It's gone from back in the day being very big groups to literally for a couple of years just pretty much being me and Carter going.
Yeah.
And then our group grew back again, and now it seems to be big groups of people going to Download again. But I'm sure at some point that will die off, and it will be very small groups of people again. Download seems to come in phases with our group of friends, but we are blessed because they are. You've met all of them now. They all are very, very cool people.
Yeah.
Plus all the people we've integrated into the group from the outside, like people we've made friends with properly in the last year or so. They've all integrated so well. Plus obviously all the people that we meet from the Discord and all that stuff. Everyone is just it's like, how can we be surrounded by this many cool people? How is this even possible? It's just crazy. So yeah, we've been blessed.
Yeah,
with being surrounded by people, definitely. But anyway, yes, that was our festivals. Anyway, should we move on?
Yeah.
We've talked enough about festivals on this podcast. We're done. We're done.
Well, I can tell you, there's one album I'm excited about. It should already be out by the time this is released. And Saliva have a new album coming out on Friday.
What's it called, bro?
It's called Revelation. And
also, I need another question to ask. What iteration of Saliva is releasing this album?
So
when you said that to me, the first thing that came into my head was, I need to ask him what iteration of Saliva are releasing this, because now it's getting really fucking confusing. This is like Saliva. It's like Saliva have gone Marvel. They've got their own metaverse. Which version? So I've been thinking about this as well, what to call them, because the one releasing the single is the original Saliva, but with no original members. So it just sounds odd in itself. The new Saliva has original members. We'll just call it Josie Scott's Saliva, the newer one. So the original, not original Saliva are releasing
it's so
the new
weird
album.
Still.
Cool. What's the sing? So did they release a single? Was that the other one?
They've released a few singles from it so far. Crows was the first one. Been a couple more.
I need to listen.
I don't think
How's it sounding?
Crows wasn't that great. Well, I wasn't excited about Crows. The last one they put out, which I cannot remember the name of it, was quite good. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. The last album they put out in 2018 was called 10 Lives, and that's probably my least favourite album of theirs. So I don't know whether they're still going down the same route, and it just maybe just not as good anymore, or I don't enjoy it as much anymore. But we'll see. We'll see on Friday. I think that was when that was coming out. I stayed up till midnight just to hear it. I was like,
exciting. That's cool.
Yeah, it got to about 11:30. I was like, oh, I realised the dates. And I was like, oh, Saliva's album's out in half an hour. I'm really tired, but I'm going to stay up and listen to it.
Nice.
I think I've only done that with one album since, and that was Iron Maiden. I don't remember what that's called anymore. That's old news now, isn't it?
Shinjitsu.
Shinjitsu, yeah.
Shinjitsu, yeah. So September 8th, that's out. So that is, literally Friday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. Cool. I'll have to give that a listen.
Yeah.
Exciting. What about is there anything else over this apart from? I mean, we know what the sound of your beginning summer is, Electric Callboy. So I know you got way into that.
I mean, I've said before as well, haven't I? And I sent you the link to the playlist. I've only been listening to this one specific playlist mostly since download, and that's just like a Bring Me the Horizon playlist. I think it's tailored specifically for me. Because it's got some songs in there. It's got there was an old Self-Deception song in there that came on earlier, and I was like, this would not be in anybody else's playlist because Self-Deception are relatively small. So I think it's tailored to me, but
tailored to you around stuff that's similar or in the same vein as Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah. But I'll have a look.
That's cool, man.
I'll have a look at it now. Some of the. I mean, because there's other things. Holding Absence, I've really enjoyed the Holding Absence songs that have been on there. Caskets, I've been really enjoying Caskets recently as well. I'd never really listened to them before download. Yeah,
we spoke about them, didn't we? We said we quite liked them, actually.
Yeah.
They sounded decent. I didn't listen to them after that, but what I listened to them for our preview, I thought was really good.
Yeah. I don't remember being overly keen on them or being excited about them during our build-up to download, but what I've heard since has blown me away.
Awesome.
Also, a bit more of Parkway Drive. I think I've said before, I quite liked the latest album. I didn't know it that well. I only really knew a couple of songs, but Cortex came on, or Cortex has been coming on quite a bit recently, and I didn't realise it was them to start with. And when I looked, I was like, this is such a good song. Seeing this live would have been absolutely amazing. I don't know if you know the song.
I don't know the song.
Okay. No. It talks about being a glitch in the cortex. So I think it's basically saying there's something wrong with his brain, I assume.
Nice.
But it's so good.
I'm not a fan. Again, I told you it's one of those bands I just can't get into. Not that I dislike them at any point. I hear them, I think that's good. But it's not something I would stick on.
Yeah.
So maybe listening to them as part of a playlist would be a good way to get into them.
Yeah, because a lot of these songs, they've just been playing over and over again. I didn't even know who they were. I just got used to the song at the time. And then, after a while, I think I stopped I stopped wearing my watch to work because I didn't want to get a stupid sundown where my watch is. I didn't know who it was. But when I do find out, I'm like, actually, I quite like this band.
Nice.
Let's see who else I've been listening to. A bit of Beartooth. I've been meaning to ask you for ages. What do you think of Beartooth?
Haven't really listened.
Haven't you? Okay.
No, probably a band I need to give a go.
Yeah.
But heard a lot about, but never actually listened. Not maybe subliminally, but not actually stuck them on to actually listen to them.
Yeah. Okay. So I think Kelly had one of their albums on in the car. I think it might have been one from 2016. And it grew on me. I wasn't a big fan of them to start with, but it grew on me. And after a while, I was like, this is a 10 out of 10 album. Every song is amazing.
Nice.
And since then, I've been I haven't listened to any albums in full, but some of the stuff I've listened to, I'm like, why aren't they bigger? They are absolutely amazing. It's just, I think they're similar to sort of Holding Absence, but a bit more gruff vocals, maybe. I don't know. But in a similar vein where, it's just easy listening. There's nothing bad about their songs. I suppose I might get stick for comparing them to Hybrid Theory, Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory, Meteora Time. But that's what I think. There's nothing really bad about their albums. Nothing to dislike. So it's all really quite good. And I'm just surprised they're not bigger than they are. I really, really am.
I'll have to check them out, man. You're speaking highly of them, so
yeah,
I'll have to give them a go. See what they're all about.
Awesome. Yeah, I definitely recommend them. I've always thought they're everybody's kind of band, and most people know them a lot better than I do. But yeah, it surprises me that you haven't.
Yeah. I can't listen to everything.
No,
some stuff passes me by. So
yeah. Well, I did have that thought when I was thinking about this new Saliva album coming out, and I thought I know almost everything there is to know about Saliva songs and albums. Not all of it will come to my head straight away, but I know it very, very well. And I thought, you are like that with a lot of bands. It's only really Saliva. I probably don't even know that much as a percentage-wise about Iron Maiden. I'm like, how have you done it? How have you listened to so many bands and just... I don't know. I understand.
I don't know. Just a music nerd, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's one of the things I'm nerdy about. I'm interested about. I remember. I don't know why, but that information just sticks. Same with movies. Some of the information just sticks in my brain and doesn't. I should probably be remembering much more important information. Yet that's the stuff that tends to stay, glued to my cortex.
Yeah.
And then filters through. So yeah, God knows. Fuck knows. Who knows where?
Awesome. Let's have a look who else is on this playlist. I think We Came as Romans. I've liked a couple of their songs.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, there's a few other ones that have got like one song on there I kind of like, but never really got into them properly. Bad Omens actually is one, and what's the other one? I don't know. It's gone.
Well, I think for you, the main one that I've noticed that you talked about is obviously Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah, I was about to get into them.
You've gone from you've gone from someone that probably thought, that's quite good, to watching them at download, to now being like, this band are awesome.
Yeah.
Like, not a switch around because you didn't dislike them, but like you've been turned on to Bring Me.
Yeah.
And this just shows you how powerful a festival or just a performance in general can be. You can really win people over with performances. You can do it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's not just you.
No,
I'm sure there are thousands of people that were at that Bring Me show that are now Bring Me the Horizon fans.
Yeah.
So
and so I was just about to say probably about half of the songs on this playlist are Bring Me the Horizon, and they are absolutely amazing. Every song on this playlist is really, really good. Not just the ones that like, well, I don't know. A lot of people probably know them more than I do, but you got Throne and Strangers that came out recently that absolutely blew up.
The big tracks.
Yeah, a lot of their smaller tracks as well. Parasite Eve, I really like.
Oh, it's a great song.
Yeah, so
breakdown in the middle is Slipknot-esque, disgusting. Yeah, it's fucking great. Really
see
good.
What else I like if I can find a few more.
They've been so. They're like the reason they've got so big is with their last like 4 or 5 albums. They've been so consistently releasing fucking great music.
Yeah,
like just knocking it out of the park every time. And they've just put their new album back, haven't they? Because of some issues, but no one knows exactly what they are.
I know that from your YouTube, and that's it.
Yes, it's a win.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he didn't go into detail of what that is, but he said that they obviously weren't happy with parts of it, which could mean anything. Could mean takes, it could mean song structure, it could mean mastering or mixing, or fuck knows. There's so much work that goes into them. But it's just interesting because I think that's cool. Like I said on the YouTube, that like I was talking about before about you having imposter syndrome, but also me being, I don't want to release this because it's not quite ready yet.
Yeah.
And I can feel that that's what they're like as a band as well. They put so much work into it. They're like, why would we just release something that we're not 100% happy with? Let's just get 100% happy with it, or at least 99% happy with it, and then let's not release an album that we're 80% happy with, look back in a few years and think, fuck, if we just took that extra time, I could have been 99% happy with this album rather than 70 or 80%. So I totally understand it from a musician perspective to want to put the best version of the stuff out there. But we'll find out, in time, I'm sure, why it was put back. It could be, not even to do with the music. It could be with B2B distribution or artwork, or something's that someone's not happy with someone at a label, blah, blah, blah. It could be anything.
Yeah. You don't really hear it with music as much, but with films, it could be like there's somebody else releasing an album at that point, and they want to push it back to not clash.
You think a lot of work goes into music. Film is like even worse, like even more fingers in the pie than releasing an album. So that's I can't remember who quoted it, but I think someone said a bad movie can be a bad movie and a good movie can be a good movie, but it's a miracle that films come out at all. If a film is completed and whoever worked on it is happy with that, and that gets to go out for us to watch, that's a miracle in itself.
Yeah. Because
there are so many things that can go wrong, so many editors, so many people in high places telling you to do stuff, actors, performances. Like, if a movie gets made, that's a miracle in itself, let alone if it's good or not. So I can't remember who said that. Someone did say that. I can't remember who it was, but it's so true. Just like music, it's a miracle these albums ever got out, you know, to the light of day. So
I like that. Yeah, it's a good quote.
Yeah, I can't remember who said it. I'll find out at some point. But yeah, no, like Bring Me, I'm really looking forward to that new album. You just never know what they're going to do. Who fucking knows? It might be a pop album. It might be a fucking death metal album. Like, with them, you just never know what it's going to be. So I'm actually really excited.
I think I am quite excited about it too.
Yes, it feels good. It feels good to be excited about like new albums coming out. You know, when something's being released from a band that's like sort of relevant and about now, when they're releasing something, to be like, oh man, I can't wait for this album.
Yeah,
that's great.
And,
it's a good feeling.
And I hadn't felt that for such a long time. I was just stuck in my old bands, like you were saying about like the people who just got rolling in a playlist and that's it. Like I was the same. I mean, I've been excited about Senjutsu. Obviously Saliva's new album now, which I always would have been. But In Flames' new album, you know, I haven't really bothered with them for a long time. And their new album's amazing. There's just so many cool new stuff coming out, and I'm back with their times. I'm not sitting in my own history anymore.
Yeah. It feels good. It feels good to let the new stuff in.
Yeah.
Let it flow, man. Let it in. Let it seep into your veins. Yeah. You might be, the worst thing about that though is you might be massively disappointed. Yeah. But also you might feel like this is really good, or it might be a grower or whatever. But it's exciting to listen to those songs for the first time because you're like, oh, I don't know what it's going to be. What's it going to sound like? Amazing.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's cool. Really cool.
What about you? What, I mean, yeah, I think that, I've just seen, as I was going through that playlist again, the Parkway Drive song is called Glitch, not Cortex. I'm sure
Glitch.
Most people would have got it from me saying Cortex, because he says that a lot in the song. But if you haven't listened to it, it's called Glitch. Go and check it out. It's awesome.
Nice.
But yeah, so what about you? What new music have you been listening to, or generally listening to? Have you been going back and listening to all Slipknot of a Down? Fucking dickhead.
Slipknot of a Down.
System of a Down to keep them relevant and up. No.
I did actually about a month ago go and listen to the first System of a Down album again.
Yeah.
And remembering on how just incredible it is. Like, to come out with that as your first album is like fucking hell.
Yeah.
Jesus. And they're great. You need to listen to that. It's a fucking great album. It's killer. It's just non-stop. It just berates you with fucking insane Armenian riffs with just fucking mental vocals. It's just like, oh my god, okay. I can understand why, you know, people were like, shit, this band are amazing at the time. Just being like, I've never heard anything. I've never heard Armenian riffs played with fucking distortion over metal before. Like, this is crazy. So yeah, they're great. But new stuff, I'd say the thing I've listened to the most that I keep listening to, I've listened to this album probably 2 or 3 times a week, is the new Used album, Toxic Positivity. Like, I cannot stop listening to this album. It's just gripped me in some weird, strange way. Yeah. The songs are always in my head. The songs have been in my dreams. It's like, it's really, really strange. That album really, like, I was just like, fuck, this is such a good album. So yeah, Toxic Positivity has been one for me. Nice. I really liked the newest Foo Fighters one that came out right at the beginning of the summer. But Here We Are. I thought that was really great. Although people were talking about the overcompression on the album, the sound wasn't that great. But I thought generally it was overall. I like Medicine at Midnight, the last Foo Fighters one as well. Although it was a bit of a weird album where the songs were quite different. I really liked it. Whereas the couple before, I didn't like that much at all. So I've quite liked the latest sort of Foo Fighters ones. Another one that I need to talk about is Teenage Wrist. So I spoke about this on the YouTube. So Teenage Wrist's last album, Earth is a Black Hole, I legitimately consider that to be a 10 out of 10 album.
That's not sorry, I'm jumping in here. I sent you a message earlier saying I listened to the one you talked about on YouTube, and it's not for me. That's not the one I listened to. I listened to the new album.
So the new album, Earth is a Black Hole is just unreal. Every time I listen to it, I'm like, fuck, that is so good, man. And the new one, I listened to it again today in the car on the way back from Bristol. And I do like it a lot more than the first time I listened to it. But it's definitely still not up to what I would hold that album to. But it's still got some really good songs on it. And I'm sure I'm going to grow to sort of love those a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I can tell you right now, it's not a 10 out of 10. It's a 7 for me. It's not a bad album, but I don't think it's a great one. So again, that's what I'm saying about the disappointment thing. I liked the last album so much. I was so excited when the album came out. And it was like a rush of modest disappointment. So I was just like, oh man, it's not quite as good as I was. But I was holding the other one to too high. So we talked Holding Absent. So yeah, they love long titles. The Noble Art of Self-Destruction. Again, I've listened to it twice now. They're just brilliant. Yeah. They are just such a fantastic band. Like I said before on the YouTube, like no one conveys passion through vocals more than this guy. It is like you're feeling every single word this guy's singing, and live they are just unbelievable. Like the passion is, you don't see, and I saw, like I said this all the way back in 2017 when I saw them in a tiny little tent at 2000 Trees. People were getting emotional, people were fucking screaming, and that was when they weren't a very big band at all. You could tell that the seeds were already being sown for having so many people. And when you see their gigs, I've never seen anyone like it at gigs. People on each other's shoulders, arms up, singing all the words, just like with absolute passion for this band. Like it is, I don't know how they've converted this into like music, but somehow they've done it. Like it's a few young blokes from Wales. Like it's amazing. It's great, and it gives it. They always remind me of, not necessarily musically, but they've captured the new generation's version of what Funeral for a Friend were.
Yeah, you said.
That's honestly what I think. Like Funeral for a Friend had fantastic lyrics, full of passion. Going to their old shows, I was singing every single word of my heart out. And I get the exact same feeling when I go to a Holding Absent show now. They've captured the nuances and that emo, it's okay to be emotional, but let's all sing about it together thing that Funeral for a Friend had back in the day. So that's why I love Holding Absent so much. It's captured that, relighted that sort of Funeral for a Friend fire under me, which I think is fantastic. So, and the new album is brilliant. So I recommend anyone to go listen to it. And the last one I want to talk about is Earn.
Oh yeah.
So a band that Chids played it when we were at the at my stag.
Yeah.
And we were all sitting there like, well, this is amazing. who on earth is this? And he's like, oh, it's this band called Earn. And I was like, they're fantastic. And then he made me listen to their last album, and I was like, that's great. So I listened to that constantly. At Bloodstock, they were unbelievable live. I'm talking, Mastodon Gojira levels of prog incredibleness live. And I only found out the day before that they'd just been touring with Gojira, and the singer from Gojira had helped them with the album, which now makes a hell of a lot of sense.
Okay, yeah.
With them. But like his vocals, when he's screaming, it sounds like his throat is about to burst with blood. Like it's kind of like what Chino used to do on the old Deftones albums, and he popped his vocal cords from doing it, where it's not screaming as in I'm Killswitch Engage, I'm going to do a scream. It's screaming, like, to a point where it sounds musical, but also you feel like his vocal cords are going to pop at any second. Yeah. And that's the same sort of bits I get from some of the Earn vocals on the more harsh parts, not necessarily the nicer bits. But yeah, their new album, A Feast of Sorrow, is just another fantastic addition to prog metal. Like, it's complex, it has subtleties, it goes in and out, solos are fucking fantastic, the rhythm section are just unbelievable. Like, I can't say enough good things about. And again, we just spoke about how good Holding Absence were. Earn, another British band. Like, we are being absolutely treated at the moment in the metal community with really great British bands. Like, there is just so many good ones at the moment. I'd say, biggest ones, Holding Absence, Malevolence, and Sleep Token have just taken over. Yeah. They're fucking taken over. Yeah. Like, those three bands are just absolutely killing it now. Like, whoever thought, a weird band that wears masks where the singer calls himself a vessel would sell out Wembley Arena in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
if you said that to someone like, 5 years ago when the British scene wasn't being that hot, you never would have thought that. And then you get Malevolence that band people just go absolutely mad for, and rightly so. They are fantastic. Yeah. And the same with Holding Absence. So I think we are in like and not just them, there's loads of other bands I could talk about, but I feel like we're in a renaissance in the metal, Bring Me being so big. We are in like a British, like kind of like when Maiden came about with that new wave of British heavy metal. Yeah. I feel like we're in that new wave of stuff in the new version of metal at the moment, where I could go to a festival and just watch British bands and be like, I don't need any other bands to come here. I could just watch a festival of British bands and be perfectly happy and have an absolutely fantastic time watching them. So I just think that's really cool. It's just something I've realised from this summer, how much the British bands have really started to take it back. Because, it goes through phases where you get lots of European bands, American bands are always there, but sometimes you see festivals where it's like mostly American bands and the British bands are kind of the smaller ones. But I think now it's really turning a corner where British bands are taking over. Like, it tours in America as well, man. They're all on like huge tours with like massive bands. It's like, how are these guys getting these spots? This is great. Just get them out to more and more people.
Yeah, I think Sleep Token are over at Blue Ridge Rock Festival even.
There you go.
Today, quite high up as well.
Nice. Yeah, rightly so. Really, really great band.
I'm English. Fine, never mind. Yeah. Do you know what? I hadn't really thought about that much though, so I'm gonna have a look at their lineup and see which British bands they've got over there. Could be interesting.
Yeah, it's just great. It's just something I've noticed over this summer. I've been like, wow, man, British bands are absolutely killing.
I wonder if that was triggered from a pilot when it was all British bands, and
that was
something
great.
You thought about generally before that, or
around the time I did that, because I thought, do you know what? This is a really good lineup.
Yeah.
Like, this is a really good lineup, and they're all British bands. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
How much you can pack a mini festival now just with British bands, and people will go crazy for it because we have a very good litany of bands. So yeah, it's a good time to live in England, to have the capability to go around and see all of these amazing British bands. So yeah, really, really cool. Just great.
Yeah.
So yeah, but apart from that, I listen to loads of random shit. I could, what I'm like. We could take another 2 hours talking about all the shit I've listened to. But those are things that have sort of come out around the time. Sorry, my alarm's come on to make my eggs for the morning. Yeah, I'm going gym every morning now, so I have to have my eggs and all that
how many
stuff,
eggs do you have? Do you boil them as well?
Just two boiled eggs. Two boiled eggs in the morning.
Why is it eggs?
Two boiled.
Kelly's dad used to do that.
Good protein, man. Good bit of protein.
Well, it just
also
takes a while
the higher in protein. So if you do weights at the gym, your body is so if you go for a run, when you stop running, your body won't burn that many calories afterwards. If you do weights, your body will burn calories for hours afterwards.
Oh.
And that bit of protein, it helps with like repairing your muscles. Also, the higher in protein something is, it's like a quencher of appetite. So if I eat those two eggs, I'm not hungry until lunchtime.
Okay.
If I have something that's really carby, I'll be hungry within no time at all. But maybe that's just me. But,
yeah.
So literally 2 boiled eggs, a coffee, I'm in, and a couple of bits of chewing gum, because after eggs and coffee, your breath probably isn't that great.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah,
I was curious.
So let's just put that into my routine. Yeah. Yeah. So some really, really good albums.
Okay, I think actually, guys, I know we said it's going to be a bit of a everything, including TV shows, movies, etc. Whether I leave that bit in or not, this might be a massive surprise to you. But I think we're going to keep it there because we've gone on a lot of tangents and spoken about music and festivals over this summer, a lot more than we probably expected. But
we initially planned to. Yeah,
we probably should have expected that, to be fair. But yeah, we'll talk all about that in the next one. I think we'll have a good discussion about it, because I think if we do it now, we'll be rushing it a bit too much, and I don't want to do that because I want to tell you all about the games I've been playing and the TV shows I've been watching, etc. Okay. So yeah, I mean,
that's true actually, because I bought a massive stack of Blu-rays, so I want to go through those as well. So
awesome.
Just briefly.
Yeah,
but yeah,
cool. That's cool, man. Well, yeah, I know Chidzvidz still buys physical media, doesn't he?
I'm only buying Blu-rays now, so I've got 500 DVDs.
Do you?
I've stopped buying DVDs now, apart from because I do a lot like Chids. I do a lot of secondhand shopping.
Yeah.
So I always go in, but now I'm only buying Blu-rays, and I'll buy a DVD if it's rare and I know that I won't be able to get it anywhere.
Right, okay.
But like, you'd hate to go to CEX with me. I will be in CEX for a good hour minimum.
Really?
Just looking at, going through all the DVDs, everything. I go through all the Blu-rays, look through all the 360 games, all the PS4 games, and we always have a quick check of the PS2 games because we're trying to assemble all the SingStar games, to which we have most of them now.
Nice.
So every time we go, we look for S and we go, got that one. Oh, don't have that one. Buy that one. So yeah, you don't want to go to, unless you really wanted to go to CX with me. I feel like that would be a vlog in itself, me going to CEX, just looking at all of the fucking shit that's in there.
Well, I do enjoy that. I love car boot sales. I've literally just thought to myself now, I haven't even considered a car boot sale this year yet. Why have I not done that?
We went to a couple last year. Yeah. Why have we not gone to any this year? That's a good point, actually. It's probably done now.
Summer's almost over.
No more.
But we did, there was a little Fate thing recently, and there were a few stalls there. There was one guy, he had absolutely loads and loads of PS1 games, PS2 games. Did he have anything older? He might have had a few little Mega Drive games or whatever. And then all the newer games up to like PS4, some PS5 as well. And obviously the Xbox too. He had PC games, like the big box PC games. He had a couple of board games as well. And one of them was probably, well, I think two of them were worth probably quite a lot of money. But looking at his collection and looking at him, you would know he knows what he's talking about. You aren't getting a bargain from him.
Yeah. I find that with people. I always go looking for records at car boots, and the best people are the people that know fucking nothing about records. Because you go and you're like, how much? They're like £1. You're like, but take them out. How much are these? Give me a tenner for all those, and you've bought £200 worth of vinyl. But when you go to someone who knows, you're going to go, oh, he's got Frank Zappa in here. How much for that, mate? And he's like, yeah, 50 quid. And you're like, straight back in. No, mate, I'm all right, thank you. When you know, that's the worst people. When they know what they've got. Yeah. When you get people that don't know what they've got, they're the best ones. Because, you don't want to scam them. You want to say, I'll give you a £5 for it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'll give you some money, but it's a fucking car boot sale. Yeah. It's not a shop. If I want to pay those sort of things, I'll just buy it online. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, they're the worst ones.
There's always those people who have got like the whole stall is just computer games or a certain thing, and you're like, you know what you've got. Yeah, there's quite a nice rare PS2 game there. I know it's worth 50 quid, but you know it's worth 50 quid too. So 50 quid, I'm not even going to ask you about it. But yeah, no, I can't believe I haven't been.
I love a boot sale. Love a boot sale.
Yeah, me too.
I love a boot sale. Love it.
I generally only get board games from charity shops these days.
What's the charity shop saying around you?
What?
Good ones, bad ones?
They're all pretty rubbish around here. But we have got one new cancer research. It's a massive one. And I've had quite a few decent bargains on board games now. I've got like probably 4 or 5 board games that would be about 30 quid, even second hand to buy. Nice. And I've got them for like 3 quid each time.
Yeah, I'm always excited to go to a new area with new second. Like every time we go somewhere, I'm always like to Vicky, we have to go into second-hand shops. We just have to. So I always drag her into like loads of second-hand shops. We're always looking around to try and find stuff. But yeah, I love that. So whenever I go to a new area, I'm like, oh, new second-hand shops. Awesome. We were meant to buy you a board game for your wedding as well. But we never did. So I'm going to buy you a board game and bring it to you. Also, I'll send it to you. Yeah, awesome. I'm up for that.
I'm curious about the festival game that you played on your mini moon. I don't know if I said this earlier or not, or whether it was before.
You did, but we didn't bring it up.
Yeah,
it's actually really cool. So it's like it's not a board. It's like just like a bit of paper, but it acts as sort of the board basically. Right. So you put that down, and it has like different sections. So you've got like the toilets, main stage, VIP backstage, waiting area, camping, and then you've got like little discs where you start on a bit, and then you've got cards that asks you questions, and you flip the it's got like a little dial, so you flip that around, it lands on something, you read the question, and then you might get one that's like, oh no, you're trapped in the festival toilet and can't get out. miss a go, so you're like stuck in the toilet. So it was only like a cheap one. It's done by I think it was Egg Games, those guys that do loads of other cool ones that I've got. Like one of the best ones they do is What People Search For, which is a game about the internet. So it gives you a question like what was the first 5 answers that came up when someone Googled what do I do when I have sex?
Okay.
And then you have to guess what the top answers are from Google. And that is like, we've played that with loads of people and it's really fun because it's the internet.
Yeah.
So it's always going to be the most random shit. So when you actually get a point and guess one, it's really good. And then you read the card out afterwards and you're like, how was I ever supposed to get that? That's mental. Yeah. But it's all from Google. So, but they do a lot of those sorts of, sort of cheaper, but fun sort of, games to do when you've got people over. But that festival one is really good, actually.
Yeah, it sounds good.
It.
I look into that. Yeah. I was thinking about making my own festival board game.
Oh, nice.
When I was protesting against Monopoly mentally, and you bought the download festival Monopoly, and I was like, that's not a decent board game. I will make a decent festival board game, a decent download festival board game. And they will buy it from me and sell it as merch.
It's download themed. It's download themed, but it's still Monopoly. So it is fun. Yeah. Some of it's a bit dated now because it's all sort of gone out of date. They don't have District X in it and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's kind of gone out.
But it's still Monopoly, which is over 100 years old. No, I don't hate Monopoly anymore. I have matured.
It will be whipped out this Christmas. Every Christmas we get out the download Monopoly. It's going to be played. Last year, me and my brother went in hard. We played download Monopoly for like 4 hours. We were drinking at the same time, but we went in. It was a battle. Yeah. It was a real battle.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
good. I'll take your word for it. I have a history. No, I've said before, Monopoly is the Nickelback of board games, and people don't hate Nickelback anymore. And Monopoly, it has a stigma, and I'm trying to not hate it or not I don't know. I'm stuck.
Yeah, but they have to do versions of it now to sell it. So I don't think they would have sold half as much. Monopoly is a classic game and people like it. It's very, British. But, they do Marvel ones, Harry Potter ones, Doctor Who ones, download ones. Everyone has their own version of Monopoly, which helps them sell versions because even though you're playing the same game, because it's got a theme, it makes you feel like you're playing a new game even though you're just playing Monopoly again with different words. That's it. Like, the download one's so lazy, they don't even change the game pieces. I don't think legally they actually could have done that. Really? But, don't even, you still got the dog and the boat and the hat and, it's the same. They could have had download-themed things, but I don't think they could have changed those. I'm pretty sure that, like, the Doctor Who one is still the same game pieces, just a Doctor Who-themed board and cards. Yeah. So, yeah.
Interesting.
It's probably only so much you can change.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, my game is going to be much better. But that was like at least 2 years ago I was thinking about that. Maybe, it was a while ago. And I haven't done anything about it since. So download Monopoly is obviously better than my game because I haven't even made it. I haven't even thought about it for a long time. Anyway, we were going like ages ago. Again, we went off. But yes, this has been a fun episode. We can talk, can't we? We can really talk. We can
talk. Well, this isn't even a long one. Like, we could talk way more, but we're like, no, next time we'll do films, games, TV. We'll go into loads of stuff. Yeah. I'll talk about Blu-rays. We'll talk about films. We'll talk about board games. We'll go in hard on some real deep dive stuff with that next time. But we have talked way more about the 2 subjects that we've got. We were supposed to do 5, but we've obviously gone a bit long. So hopefully you've enjoyed this one anyway. We've done, it's a nice little ode to summer 2023, for which we have had a lot of fun. So it was nice to talk about it.
Yeah. Well, there's one thing I want to talk about, which I might forget next time. Do you like modern art? Or what do you think about modern art?
I mean, it's kind of like music, really. There'll be a piece that I really like, and there'll be a piece that I don't like at all. So, or a piece that I'm just numb to. Yeah. I have a piece of artwork on my wall which is modern art that I actually done.
Ooh.
This is my first bit of artwork.
Is it just like a bottle top sellotaped to something?
There you go.
Oh, that looks like actual art though.
Yeah, that's that's the first ever Simon Bond.
Yeah. I mean, but it's...
which I was
at least it's
very, very proud of. I really like, I can't draw, but with painting, I really like creating weird stuff. And I always used to do like really weird drawings and stuff. Yeah. So I would really like to have more time to do more canvas like paintings art-wise. Yeah. I feel like later in life, that's something I'm really, really going to do. But at the moment, I just don't have time to do it. But yeah, that is definitely something that I like art in general very much. So like I said, I'm very visual.
Yeah. Okay.
When I see a piece of artwork, I get, I can get emotionally attached to it. Modern art is weird because it can be so subjective. Like we can get one that's an absolute piece of shit and everyone loves it. But then you can get one that's absolutely fantastic. It's very up and down. Whereas I feel like older artwork was not necessarily done to a better standard, but people were held to higher standards, so the level of art had to be to a higher degree. Yeah. Whereas modern art, some people look at it and go, "That's not art." Yeah. But they look at an old painting and they'd say, "That is art," even though I don't like it.
Yeah.
So I feel like modern art, it's very strange.
It is.
Place to be. What I mean,
Facebook thinks I like it all of a sudden, and it keeps showing me.
Okay.
I mean, there was a guy doing some exhibition in Sweden, I think, and I was dumbfounded by one of his art pieces. I was like, "What the hell is this?" And I stopped and watched it, and then for a few days it kept showing me more of his stuff, and I was like, "I don't actually want to see this." So one of them was just like loads of buckets of sand, and he got them ready, and he stood back, and after a few seconds they fell over. And everyone clapped. Okay, so and I was like, "What?"
So you mean like art installations rather than actual art pieces? You mean like an installation of art?
Yes, I didn't know.
A physical art piece. Yeah, I mean a lot of that stuff is absolute bollocks.
It is to me.
But some of it you look at and you think that's really, really cool. Actually, I quite like that. I like the idea of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like performance art
falling
stuff
buckets
like
of
that
sand,
is very weird.
That?
I'd have to see it to see if it evoked an emotion from me. But I like more traditional art, I would say. Like my favourite artist of all time is Edward Hopper. He was like an artist who done paintings. You've probably seen like Nighthawks. It's that very empty cafe with a few people in it.
No.
I'll send you some pictures anyway. But yeah, he was an artist in like the 20s to the 60s, and he done like, I don't know, pictures of like liminal spaces almost. But his lighting and his shadows and everything were just unbelievable. Like, I could look at Edward Hopper paintings just all day, every day. And I'll send you the picture. But Rooms by the Sea is my favourite painting of all time.
Okay.
All it is a doorway with a bit of light coming in from the sun, and then an ocean outside.
Yeah.
But it evokes so much emotion and dream state in me that like it's weird, and it's just a fucking painting. Like, yeah, I love art. I'm a huge
You're
art fan.
gonna make me like art, aren't you? Somehow, like you do with bands. So this was meant to be a mockery of modern art and what it is, and now you've gone really deep, and I want to see that picture now. I want to see that picture of the door and the sea and the light, and it's probably going to do something to me, and I'm probably going to like it, and I'll be like, oh, I like art all of a sudden now, and I'm going to go around to art galleries, and I'm gonna watch people dropping and I'm going to enjoy it. I don't understand how you do that.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ, Lord help me.
So another one, another one.
Sorry.
Think of like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, like is it the red sort of cross? It's kind of like an asterisk, like a cross and then a time sign.
Yes.
He had a big one of them, a metal one of them filled with water on the ground. And he was in a canoe in the middle, and he was just going down each of the points. And I was like, I don't understand this. What is this art?
Yeah. Well, a lot of it's just weird. People just do weird stuff and they call it art. But then you have to think about, if you're very much into modern art, a lot of it is about expression and the meaning behind things that you do. And people, like music, people get different things from it. People will look at a painting and someone will see it completely differently to what the next person sees it. So, yeah, modern art is very subjective.
I mean, I wasn't just trying to mock modern art either. It was just...
No. You can, though, because I totally agree with you. A lot of it is like, what the fuck is this? But like, what is this person doing?
Also the fact that Facebook thinks I like it all of a sudden, so it keeps showing me the fucking things.
Yeah, now we're talking about it, though. You're going to get like a load of shit.
It's also
come up now. You are.
Right. This was the other question I was going to ask on this, but I'm already regretting thinking about asking it. What do you think about Tesco?
What do you mean?
Good. That's what I wanted. So Reddit, there's the same thing. Reddit. I stopped and looked at somebody's post about Tesco on Reddit before, and now it keeps showing me posts about Tesco. But it's people who work in Tesco talking about Tesco and if things are okay and talking about the work they're doing, and I'm like, I don't want to see this. How do I tell you I don't care about Tesco? And well, I mean, I do care about the people who work there, but I don't understand why you keep showing it to me.
I mean, everyone loves a club card price.
Yeah, I don't have a club card.
I mean, that's about as much as I love Tesco. So I don't really have any feelings about Tesco.
Yeah, I mean, the same thing happened to me with DoorDash, which is American. But some of those stories are quite funny, so I do sit and look at them. But
okay, yeah.
I mean, well, to be fair, I do sit and look at some of the Tesco ones and think, see people talking about are they entitled to their break and stuff like that. I don't understand. I should probably just make sure I scroll past. But good. Thank you for not making.
You're being recommended modern art and Tesco.
Thank you for.
That's the weirdest thing.
Yes, but thank you for not forcing me to like Tesco more than I want to. We should end the episode there, unless you've got anything else to add on to Tesco and modern art.
No, I don't.
Okay, good.
No.
Good. Right. Well, that's the end of the episode. Right, we got to go. We've had a lot of fun doing this. Talked about half as much as we wanted to, but we've got a lot of cool stuff to come. So, yeah, thank you all. We have to say thank you to our Patreons. We actually do have 2 new Patreons this episode. The same happened with the last one. I think they joined Patreon only a day or 2 after putting the episode out. So feels like ages ago since they've been Patreons, but I almost forgot that they were new. We had any new patrons at all. So we got Ben Saccone, I think. I probably haven't said your name very well. Saccone. It looks like Saccone. I hope I've said it right. Thank you, Ben. You legend. And we also have Rhys Nicholson. That's a bit easier to say. Thank you, Rhys, for having an easy name. Both of you, absolute legends. Thank you for becoming Patreons and supporting us. Both of you should have access to the episode we put out only a few days ago. I hope all of the Patreons enjoyed that. It was cool. I don't even know if you've got access to it, have you? Because I don't think you're a co-creator.
Well, I remember saying it, but I haven't listened back to it.
Yeah.
But that was cool. Yeah, we got in deep on some stuff there.
But I don't think you're added as a co-creator on Patreon, and you're obviously not a Patreon because you're a co-host. So I don't think you've even got access to it. So I'll have to send you the file. I'll put the file in our drive or something. But yes, we do have to say thank you to our other Patreons. Thank you, Henry Richardson, Christopher Hambridge, George Butler, Dean Delicado, Dan Jacobs Cross, Alexander Toon, and James Harrison. All of you, we love you all. Thank you so much. Good things are coming, we promise. We don't know when yet. I'm going to stop jumping the gun and trying to be too optimistic about when I think it's going to be. What else? Come and join us on the social media pages. We got Facebook, Instagram. We have a Twitter still. Actually, I forgot we had Twitter. Fucking I don't know how phrases.
It's not called Twitter anymore.
Oh yes, it's X, isn't it? And then there's Blue Stacks, isn't there?
We've got an X page. I don't know what Blue Stacks is.
Blue Stacks is like the new Twitter made by the old creator of Twitter, basically, who sold Twitter.
Ah, okay.
I only learned that this morning. But yeah, come and join us on all of those. You can find everything you need in the episode description. There'll be a a link tree there. Go wherever you want. The internet is your oyster. But come to look at us at some point as well. Wherever you want to look at us. We've got an email address there. You can send us an email with any questions, corrections. I haven't said that for ages. Questions, corrections, feedback, or abuse. I don't know what I say here.
Abuse. Send us abuse. Why not?
Send us whatever you want. But also join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. The Discord is going to be the main party hub of next summer.
Hells yeah.
I mean, probably over the winter too. But yeah, like we said earlier, loads of cool conversations going on in there. You want to be part of them, come and join it. You'll find an invite in the Linktree as well. And if you want to become a Patreon, you can do. You can find that in there too, and help support us. Everything you contribute will go back into the podcast, and we appreciate you all. Simon, that was a long, I want to say monologue. It's not a monologue, monotone, something. Sorry.
A long outro monologue.
I said I talked a lot then. You have a go. Why don't you have a go?
Yeah, I'll have a go. Yes, as always, thank you very much for listening. We literally appreciate everything. We know festival season is over, but like I said before, we still have loads of cool stuff to talk about. We're going to talk movies, films, TV, games, all that sort of stuff next week, so that should be really fun to get our teeth into and talk about some of that stuff. For me personally, go and check out my new single 9 Lives. It's on Spotify under Mercury Night, which is my music alter ego, so go and check that out. Response so far has been amazing, so I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on it. And of course, go check out my YouTube if you haven't. I'm sure a lot of you have, because obviously we're still doing a video a week on there. But yeah, apart from that, just thank you very much for checking us out. And as always, it's just a great time sitting down with Ad and chatting the breeze.
Awesome, yeah. But yeah, it's time for us to say goodbye now then. So thank you all for listening again. Simon, would you like to say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Again, haven't I? I would also like to say goodbye. Goodbye.
I also would like to say goodbye. Sucking too many dicks.
Oh, not enough.